If you were to ask, what are some things that I wish I knew before I started a dog business 8 years ago? I think it would be don't put your eggs, don't put all of your eggs in the same basket. Just for instance, I started my dog niche business on Etsy. And at the time, Etsy was the go-to place for small business handmade businesses. And at that time, Etsy was fun. It was fine. I don't know anything about SEO or making a website or having an email list. But if I had to go back, I would totally not be on Etsy. I'm kind of torn with this because Etsy is great if you want to start off with no knowledge. I think it's a great place, great marketplace, a great place for marketing. However, it's changed so much that I had to stop using it. I still have an account on Etsy. I hardly get any sales. When I first started Etsy, I was ranked one of those top people in my niche, top stores in my niche. And I clearly remember that one time when I put my shop on vacation, that changed everything. When I came back from my vacation, I no longer ranked and I couldn't get back to where I was before. So my main thing about Etsy is I don't like how they control everything for you. For another example is, I've had several thousands of sales on Etsy when I first started, and what bothers me so much is you have no control over your email list. They're not yours. You have no email list of all the customers that has purchased from you. So if you want to run a sale or make an announcement, there's no way to tell these people. So that's one thing. And secondly, they do take fees, and I do understand that, running a business on another platform, of course they're going to take a fee because they're doing everything for you. They're paying for, security on their end. They're writing codes. They're doing marketing. They're doing a lot for you. But at the same time, you have no control over that. Same thing with, they really want to push people to run ads. But how can you get the full scope of analytics of data if you can't have control over that? So to me, that's like throwing money away. It's almost like brainwashing. So I started my Shopify website a couple of years ago, and I don't think I've ever looked back. Etsy is just there. I get a sale here and there once, twice, once a year. It's not sustainable for me, and I don't think it'll ever get back to the point where it was. Also because of, during the pandemic, there has just been so much more competition in the dog niche world. So that being said, I switched over to Shopify, and, I've been really happy with most of the features. However, I do have to use a third-party app for building my website just because there are some limitations. Just looking for my chapstick. There are some limitations with Shopify. And another thing that I wish I knew before when I started with my dog business is how important SEO would be, so that way you can get more organic traffic. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And basically, there's just so many little things that you can do on your website, from saving a photo, like from Canva. If you're saving a file on Canva, you can make that SEO friendly, such as like whatever you're selling, whatever color, what type of things you're selling, that will still come up in the search engine. And you know how when you click on the alt image on Shopify, even on Etsy, you basically can put the description in there. So when people are searching on Google and they click on images, because I sometimes shop by images. I'm just a really visual person. And that will come up. So SEO wise, and also doing your research for SEO by using an app. I use Uber Suggest because I pay for the whole lifetime. It was cheap. You can always do research on what helps your niche with those keywords. And I have a spreadsheet and I keep them I use ChatGPT to help me write descriptions to make sure that they include all those keywords. So my top performing sales method for this year was actually SEO, because I started going heavily into it last year. So another thing that I wish I knew when I started my small business is it's going to be one hell of a roller coaster ride. Don't expect to post social media videos and go viral, and that's just going to be your business model. That's not going to work. I've come across so many newer store owners. I'm 40, so I've been in the game for maybe like over 15 years. So a lot has changed. I've witnessed a lot of things. I've noticed a lot of the younger store owners, they refuse to do email marketing. I've had people ask like in specific groups, and I would suggest like, email marketing is my bread and butter. That is where I make majority of my money, and I had to learn how to do email marketing. And that is just the way it is. It does sell. And the answer that I got back from this person one time is, I refuse to do email marketing because I'm going to be bothering people. And honestly, if that person was not interested in your brand, they would not sign up. You're not bothering them. You're giving them a glimpse of what goes behind closed doors as a business. And it's also a way for you to connect with your customers that you're a human being. You're not just a big company. So with my email marketing, I do a mix of educational, sales, and personal. I'm not very consistent with this, but every Sunday when I have the time, or if I remember, I will send a personal email, just strictly text to let people know what's been going on last week, what's going to be happening moving forward. Those are like probably my best open rates, and people do like those for some reason, because I feel like they feel connected with you. You're sharing something personal with them. So don't get all worked up about you're bothering people, because majority of the time they don't even see your emails, and honestly, you're not that important. It sounds really mean, but it's the truth. Another thing is, for small business owner, I don't think it's for the weak. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I wanted to quit in the time span of 8 years. And 8 years may seem like a long time to a lot of people, but 8 years is not a long time. This is kind of when your growing phases start. My business was on a slow start, slow and steady. I rode through the pandemic. I came up, I was down, up and down. I didn't start my business during the pandemic where people were going viral all the time, and all they depended on was just going viral on social media and selling on social media. I refused to dance or do any of the trends just because maybe I'm an oaf fart. I know I'm not that old, but still, it was just something I wasn't comfortable with. So I didn't want to put myself in a situation where I had to do things that I didn't want to do. So I just kept doing what I was doing, studying, how to run ads, like Facebook ad psychology, Google ads. I listened to a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of YouTube video. I even took a few courses that just didn't do well for me, and that's just another one that I'll get into. So not depending on going viral is very important. Running a small business is more than just posting videos on social media hoping that you'll go viral. That is not a sustainable way of running a small business. I am actually pretty proud that I have rode through so many adventures through my business, really high, really low, at my lowest point right now. But I'm glad that I went through the slow and steady growth of my business versus just jumping right in, going viral. And now we're at a point where all the people that went viral during the last 3 years, things are not working out for them. And now they're just kind of scrambling, figuring out what to do next with how to run their business if, their videos are not getting any more views. And another thing I think that small businesses I would have been wish I was told before. I'm kind of 50-50 on this though. I believe that everyone should have a mentor or take a course on things that you don't know, because entrepreneurship and small business is not a course that you can take in school, and it's not just something that you can just start running from, crawling. It's just not. It's a long learning process. To me, it's a ton of fail. Every 3 fails, you may have 1 success. That's kind of how I feel. I can tell you I've probably failed over 1,000 times, and I definitely learn from those experiences. So finding the right course is very important, and the right mentor, but you also need to figure out how to figure out what is right and what is wrong from someone that is experienced in your space. Just because they're experienced and they are a guru in your space, that doesn't mean that they know it all, because they also started from nowhere. And another important thing to remember is every niche and your beliefs on running your company is going to be different. So what works for those people may not work for you. Even if you see, like, if you're in a group of whatever you signed up for, you see all these people, they do well, and you're just always constantly questioning yourself, like, why is this course not working for me? I paid $8,000. Why is this not working for me? I followed everything to the T. I attend every meeting. I ask all the questions. Sometimes you just have to ask yourself, like, are you telling the truth? Like, are you admitting that, like, you have to admit to some point that you're just so fucking stubborn. Like, you're not seeing the tunnel at the end of the light. You're trying to copy this method to the T. This is why it's not working for you, because you forget who you are. You forget your identity. And then you start losing yourself in the creative process of, like, thinking. Creative people are very good at thinking outside the box and just getting back on their feet and just figuring out how to get out a certain situation. And they're just quick with that kind of stuff. And I felt like I was super lost in the process of being in the course. I felt like I was nobody. I felt stupid. I felt like, why am I even running a small business? I don't have any good ideas. Like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like myself these past few years. Every single time I take a course thinking that it's going to get me out of this rut, spending tons of money, just listening to other people. And I'm not saying that none of it worked. Definitely worked, because you don't know what you don't know. That's just how it is with small business. But be careful with taking courses. Make sure that, I guess, if you're taking a really expensive course and that guru thinks that it could help you, I guess there would be some sort of, like, money back guarantee. But I don't think that is the case for every course that you find online, because it's very hard for someone to guarantee that you are going to be successful, because if that was the case, everyone would be taking that course, right? But you just have to be honest with yourself and ask, like, can you afford this? What can I do to make sure that this is going to work for me? Like, ask all the questions before you join. Read the contract over and have a realistic expectation. Take from what you learn and apply it in the future. Throw away some of the BS and say, this is not going to work for me, and just be really honest with yourself. Let me think if there's any more. There's just so many variables of running a business and things I wish people would tell you. Oh, your mental health, it's gonna go to complete shit. When I first started, my first couple of years, I would work nonstop, like 14, 16 plus hours a day when I was really, really busy, when things were good. I would be burnt out. My relationship was shit. My health was shit. I just couldn't think clearly. I was always grumpy. I had no mercy on myself, just thinking that I'm going to get to that point where I'm going to be successful. I can talk about my success, and, you know, I would be at a point where I'm happy with my business. That, I don't think it happened. It happened some parts of this 8 years, but I would say maybe that's 20% of running the business. And I've gotten to the point where I don't have my business email on my phone anymore. I try not to work after work. I still do. I have my laptop with me while I'm watching TV. There are things that I wish I could change, but that's just my trait. It's very hard for me to do. But I have cut back some. I do remember one time during a Christmas season, it was a really busy season, you know, and I hand make things. I was working in the middle of the night, and suddenly I just felt my heart was just like, felt really tight. I couldn't breathe. I was having a hard time breathing. I was hyperventilating. I sat down. I tried to call my fiance boyfriend at the time, now my husband, to let him know what was going on, and I couldn't even dial the phone. Everything was blurry. My hands just, I couldn't move my hands. I thought I was dying, but later on, I think I was having a panic attack because I was working so much. I was stressed. I was dealing with rude customers, asking where their orders were. It was just bad. And then ever since then, I told myself like I would never put myself through that again. It's just not worth it. I honestly don't even know if I've at that point, like now, if I've done that yet, or I am still putting myself through that. But as I've gotten older, now that I'm 40, my health has, you know, your health kind of declines as you age because your body cannot deal with stress as much anymore. Your body processes things differently. And my health has been on a decline like past 2 years. I don't talk about it a lot. I'm a bit embarrassed because of my age, but I'm dealing with it, and I try every single day not to stress a lot. But this year has just put me through the ringer of just not being able to pay my mortgage. I can't do a lot of things. I can't buy things when I want to. Like even with grocery, I have to be careful. Gas, I have to like kind of calculate where I'm going to be for the next month, or how much gas I can spend, how much money I can put in my tank, what I can order for inventory. It's just been a learning experience this year. So as a small business owner, I guess I wish I don't know, like I don't know what I really wish someone could have told me to be prepared for this roller coaster. There's really nothing that someone could tell me. I mean, if someone is passionate, they're going to do whatever they love no matter what. And that is what I did. There are times that I've wanted to give up so many times this year, and last year too. I had shed so many tears. Cried during launches because I've never seen like such failure. But it's just a reflection on what I could do better this year. I learned so much to be a stronger person. And I just cry a lot in general, but I just get emotional. Just be myself. When things like that happen, I have to think about all the other good things. And how I'm not the only one. And there are a lot of people out there in a lot worse situations. So, back to the original topic. I guess small business is not for the faint of heart. Don't copy people. That's another big thing that I had to go through. The other people copying me. And something that really bothers me a lot, like it pisses me off, is when small businesses are starting out, they go around asking another business who your supplier is, where do you get this? Like, dude, like, don't ask us. Go test yourself. Go order supplies. Go do your research. Go order samples, because I had to do that. Like, I spent thousands of dollars, not thousands of hours, but you know, hundreds of hours designing, testing. Why would I tell you that? Like, you're a small business owner. You need to figure this shit out yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to get very far in the small business world if you're trying to take shortcuts. So that's my other tip when starting out for your small business, to make sure that you do everything legal. There's no shortcut. The government will always find out if you don't pay your taxes or you're lying. Another thing is, be authentic. Don't lie just to get somewhere. I recently experienced a scam on Facebook. It was an ad for dog toys, and it was around Christmas time. I was buying Christmas presents, and the ad, you've probably seen it. I'll call them out. It's called Wow Pets Now, and they sell these like stuffed animal dog toys, and they advertise as toughest dog toys. If they're destroyed, we will replace them, no problem, whatever. Replace them lifetime. So I placed my order. I did send them an email just to get some confirmation when the shipment would be, so I can figure out if it's going to arrive by Christmas or I need to buy my dogs something else to wrap it up. I didn't get a notification. The product shipped like maybe like the week after that email that I sent them. I wrapped it up and gave it to my dogs on Christmas. 3 seconds later, they were ruined. They were ripped apart. All four toys I spent like $54 on. Then I wrote them an email. They never responded back. I wrote them 2 emails. Then I went on their Facebook, and it definitely looks like they're a scam company. They turned off all of their comments. There was some comments on there, and it's all the same issue. Like, people say, you're not responding to my email. I never got my product. I'm not getting a refund. You haven't replaced it. Then I do my research some more. I go on Facebook ads to see, you know, who they are, where they're running their ads from. China. So definitely a scam company. And I really wish Facebook would do better with that. And I'm pretty sure this company spends millions of dollars on advertisement, and Facebook is not going to do anything with it. Anyway, so my point being is, I would never, or I hope no one ever makes false claims to do false advertisement to get people to buy stuff from them and then just ghost them. I think that's just ridiculous. Money is hard to come by nowadays. It's hard work money. And because I want the best for my dogs, I got scammed. So that's another video I will be making to call this company out. It's called Wow Pets, something like that. But yeah, have friends, have support, sorry, not friends, have small business friends you can chat with, like maybe a chat group on Instagram, of small businesses that doesn't have to be in their niche, but a small business that people that you can trust to kind of bounce ideas off, especially like, difficult situations where people claim your product didn't work. It broke after I used it, and you can clearly see like damage from the person or the dog on there. And yeah, and it's just good to have people to bounce like responses off. Like, is this rude? Like, am I being a bitch? Like, am I getting scammed? Like, let's huddle and just figure out what we should do. But if you guys have any more questions, let me know. I just started this YouTube vlog type channel. Maybe I'll put this in a blog. I don't know. I just want to give you guys all the experiences and journey that I've been through in the past 8 years with my e-commerce business in the dog niche. I've been an entrepreneur for over 15 years, and it just runs in a family. Everyone in my family is an entrepreneur, and I could not imagine my life in a corporate world, because I've tried, and I would just cry in the bathroom because it sucked. I had no way to release my creativity, and I just don't like to be confined doing the same thing every single day. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little vent vlog. I'll be posting more. This style it's not going to be edited. I'm just trying to get this channel started. So I'll just be posting a bunch of things that are business related, lifestyle, dog mom, niche, etc.